Hello my friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another little craft with me. I watched a video over with Julie over at Camelia Craft Designs, and she created this. I didn't follow exactly everything that she did. I kind of made it my own, but basically she created a tag on some card, and the craft card color, and then she made a tag shape, put a eyelet there, and then made a pocket out of this top piece. So I did that similarly. She used a lot of numbers and things like that. I'm not big into that. So I just kind of made it my own. I had this little dangle in my stash. I always forget to pull out that little container that has a ton of like paper clips with dangles and stuff on them, and I just forget about it. So I pulled that out, and so we've got this little card that pulls out here. Chase butterflies. I did a little bit of collaging on this one. I'm going to do with you. I'm going to do it a little bit differently so that my my kind of little bit of collaging doesn't get in the way. I mean, it doesn't show through on the back. I'm not really fond of that. I think this one I will glue down in the journal. So that being said, both of these are for the eclectic journal that I'm working on, and so I'll be sure to let my friend know to not watch the video at this time, but both of them are for that. I'm working very, very diligently on that journal. It's been a real source of joy and peace for me to work on it, as I am being very still and quieter and slower in my life as I'm continuing the grieving process over my sister's death. So, but as I said in my other video, I have to create, I have to craft. That's part of my soul joy. That's part of how I pull out of things, and I see purpose and hope and joy and all of those things through crafting. So that's why I'm here. And so I hope that you'll enjoy the video. It'll be pretty short and sweet, so let's get going. So I've got all of my supplies here. I pulled this little seam binding out of my stash. I thought it would be perfect for this piece. I've got some lace, found another dangle I thought would be fun, which probably means I need to do some different. I'm not sure if I'll change my eyelet to a gold eyelet. I'm not sure if I have any gold eyelets. I'll have to take a look at that in a second. So I've got a little bit of more scrap of this embossed paper. It's kind of a creamy cardstock. And so I use these dies. I use these two in the other project, and I use this one and then a heart die for this project. So I just wanted to show you what those look like. And so we've got those pieces. Now I did pull this, this paper is from my Porch Prints. It's called, something Haven. I can't think of the name of it, and I don't have it in front of me. I'll link it below, or I'll link it in the supply list, guys, for you, but it's from my Porch Prints. So I pulled one of these, but I don't think I'm going to actually be using that. We'll see how it goes. I've got some sentiments about the beach there. And I also, this is from the kit as well. Seaside Haven, I believe is what it's called. But I'm not sure if I'm going to use those. We'll see. I'm just going to keep them there in case I want them. So this is going to be going in, well, this is going to be, I believe, the front piece. So I'm not sure though. It's awfully wide. We'll have to see. I might go with this and have that be the card that goes inside. So we'll see, because I can make this a whole lot smaller so that I can do a little bit of my layering with some specialty paper. So those are the papers that we've got. This is our base. I forgot to grab, I have an extra piece over here. So I just used this craft cardstock. I think I want my tag to be a little bit bigger this time. So this one measures, let's see, where's my ruler? Where's my ruler? Ah, goodness gracious. Off to a rock and start. 4.5 inches, which I love big tags, so if you don't like big tags, you could definitely go smaller, but except, yep, it will work. So I had a little bit of trouble with this on my prototype because I wanted to leave some of that cardstock, that craft paper color. I don't think in this one I'm too concerned about it because this is a lighter, not as grungy of a project as the other one. So let's just go ahead and we're going to put some of this paper on here. I might go this way just because I like the way that's going better and cut a little bit off of the top. So this is this kit is printed on 65-pound paper, so it's really going to stabilize this. This is still pretty thin for me and pretty floppy. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on first, and then we'll cut our tag corners, and then we'll move on from there. Now, one could certainly stitch this. I'm not going to do that today just because I don't feel like it, but you could definitely sew it, and that would be a really pretty element as well. I realize I'm not going quite to the bottom, but I don't want to fuss with this, so I can trim it off. Just let that, whoops, glue everywhere. Goodness gracious. There we go. And I just want to thank you. I'm having a hard time giving personal replies to everyone who's commented either on YouTube or Facebook. I'm doing a little bit better now, but when I first shared, it was just too much for me to try to respond with a personal response to each of you beautiful people that have reached out to me or have commented. So I'm going to go ahead and take this to my cutter. I think I'm going to cut it down. It's a little bit big. Let's do 7.5. So I'm just going to make a pencil mark here where I want to trim this off, and then I'll be right back. It's not like I have to go to, you know, Alaska or anything. It's just slightly to my left. Make it sound like I'm going somewhere. Goodness gracious. Okay, there we go. So there we go. So it is 7.5. You could make these any size that you want to. It's totally up to you. I feel like my camera is off. There we go. So let's go ahead and I'm going to let that set for just a few minutes, and let's go ahead and trim down one of these designs. I wonder which one I should do. I'm leaning towards this one rather than that one, just because I like the shell. So again, oh, this is a bigger card though, so I could actually just cut this in half, and then I will trim up the edges here. I think I can do that because I've got room on this side to go ahead and do some of my my desired not collaging. Cannot find my words, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm just looking for a piece of a music paper or something here in my stash, or book page or something of that caliber. So let me just fish through this little bit of paper. I should have had that ready. I might want a little piece of vellum too, since I'm popping in here. I love vellum as a layer in clusters and collaging. So boy, where are my book pages? Or my music pages? This is crazy. Let's see. What is this? I think I like this. I'm not sure what the book is, what book this is from, but I like it. I like the font and all of that. So let's go ahead and cut our tag edges here, and we'll round the edges of this with my little corner rounder here. I'm going to use the bigger one. 10 millimeter I think would be better in this case. So just a little bit more of a roundish edge there. So I hope you guys are doing okay. It is summer vacation for me from school, which is lovely. With you know, grieving, it's no fun to grieve alone, you know, like to be at home alone, but gosh, I'm just having trouble with this camera today. but I'm grateful that I'm not at work. Like, this would be so much harder if I had to go to work. Now, if I didn't have a hobby or a craft or something to help me kind of stay in the land of the living emotionally, then I'd probably prefer to be at work. But I'm very, very grateful that I have my craft here that I get to kind of disappear into. So I'm loving, oh, it's upside down, Cara-Renee. Is it? Yes, there it is. So let's go ahead and do some inking, and then we'll move on. While I do that, I'm going to see if I have some gold eyelets, and I will be right back. Okay. We'll have some more inking to do, but it'll be in littler bits here. So I want to do a little bit of collaging off to the side, and then we're going to put some kind of a tabby thing up here at the top. I think I want to go with this one. And again, this is from some embossed paper that I did quite some time ago. Oh, it's a little bit torn, but thankfully that's going to be glued. So you see how that's torn, but it's not going to be a problem. And that's just because I die cut on embossed paper, and if you catch it at just the wrong place, it's going to do that. So that is okay though. So I don't think this side's going to be seen, but let's just go ahead and ink it up. And so this is going to go at the top. I did look to see if I have gold eyelets, and I do not. I feel like that's really plain. Really, really plain. I need something darker to go underneath it. I have a little bit of this material that I've been kind of making really grungy. It's a coffee dyed lace that I made, or some lace I coffee dyed. I didn't make the lace. So let's just trim some of those extra strings off. And let's see what that would look like underneath that little tabby thing. There we go. Boy, I'm all thumbs here. All fingers, goodness. I like that, but I think I want to kind of get rid of this a little bit. So it's the same as the other corner. Let's try that again. Let's see if I like that any better. I actually love that. We're not gonna get persnickety about it. We're just gonna glue it on. So I've got my Fabri-Tac because I am working with a textile here. I'm just gonna put a bunch of glue right here and hope that I capture everything. And I'm just buttoning it right up to that edge because I want to, I don't want it hanging over because it'll bunch up this. It'll make it problematic. So that's very tender there, that little edge. So let's do this with care here. So I have a busy couple of weeks ahead though. We have a family not camping trip, a beach trip. We're going to a beach house with our local grandkids and kids, and then and that's next weekend. And then we're doing we decided to do quarterly birthdays because everybody's getting so busy and the family's getting so big that we decided to do quarterly birthdays. So we have summer birthdays that we're celebrating on Saturday. You can see that cut, but you know what? I think it actually has kind of a nice effect. So so that's okay. So anyway, there's like 6 birthdays on Saturday, and this is Monday the 10th, my daughter's birthday. My daughter Tina, she just turned 37 today, and so we're celebrating her, and then a bunch of other people, and a couple of my sisters and whatnot. So, and then I'm taking my granddaughter to the beach for the day on Wednesday because it's her birthday celebration date with me, and that's what we decided to do. So lots going on, and I'm taking my grandson for his birthday celebration because there's 7 of them. It's a lot, and we're going to go to a baseball game here locally, so that's kind of fun. I think I want that underneath there, but I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do to build that up yet, so let's work on it together. let's see, I think I like this bit of script. Let's see what it says. It can't be the little cupboard where Mama's things used to be, so it must be the clothes press, Grandma. And he found it with her, and he found her with his 3. That's lovely. Lovely. So mind you, the death of my sister is on the heels of the death of my mother. So it's been quite the thing. Quite the thing lately. Just going to tear this a little bit and see if we can get a piece of it off. And I don't need to worry about tearing the other edge because it's going to go under. So let's play around a little bit with placement. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Got to tear this edge though, so we don't have any straight clean edges. Doesn't need to go the full height of this though, so I think I'm going to tear it about right here. So I guess it's a good week to be busy, you know, with, you know, so many big feelings. It's nice to have a distraction, although I'm pretty big on not running from grief and giving it the time that it deserves. I'm thinking about going over this with some vintage photos. So let me grab my makeup brush. It's a little bit easier to apply the vintage photo ink here. So let me do that really quick. And it's got a great effect, you guys. Super effect. I feel like a mess right in front of me. This is not normally how I craft. So let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Not too much. I don't want it to get too dark. I'm going to do the same here on this and see if we can get that same effect. That almost makes that, well, that probably is an embossed line that tore. So that is lovely. Great idea, Cara-Renee. There we go. So I want the lace to go underneath this as well. So let's try to, boy, I'm just not I can't even talk. Maybe I should just do a voiceover. I don't know. I don't keep all this because I don't need the bulk, so I'm just going to cut some of that off and use that somewhere else. So I want this to be underneath like that. Perfect. And so let's just start. Oh, and we need to ink this up too. We need our little piece of script. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oh, we don't want it on that, Cara-Renee. We want it on here. And then we want a little piece of the book page. We're not going to see all of that, right? That's just the way it goes. So I almost want to reverse that and have that go there. I'm not sure what I think about that, because you can't really see the words unless we tear this down a little bit more. Let's do that and see if we like it better. See if I like it better. It's a really old book because this like just falls apart in my hands, which I love. Looking forward to going to a new beach I've never been to, and hopefully I'll find some places to find some vintage treasures. So that will be fun. You know, I think it's going to have to go like that because otherwise it's going to take away from. Now, the other thing that I have to think about is on my prototype, because I did this embossing right here, I did this little bit of layering. That means I can't make the pocket on this side because it'll bump into that and it won't work. So let's stop and think about that a second and see if we want to do this opposite. I always go to the left for some reason, but let's do it that way, and then we can have the, I guess it doesn't really matter. It has to go in this side though, otherwise it's going to bump into it. So let's have it go on this side. So goodness gracious, I am so waffling. Waffle, waffle, waffle. Okay, I love that. So I'm going to go ahead and just move this over so I can kind of have my glue line here. Glue area designation. And then we're going to go, and I'm going to go a little bit off the page here just for a little bit of interest. And then we're going to put this down over that. So again, Fabri-Tac, because I am gluing this fragile paper onto lace. So make sure you got your words going the direction that you want them to go. There's no right or wrong, but it's just a preferential. I love that. Very beautiful. And then, oh, so that will work because it's not directional in any way. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm going to move that just a tad. And I feel like I can take some of this, well, I'm going to leave it because it's very fragile, so it's not too big. As I mentioned in most of my videos, when I make a journal, I allow for the bulk that you're seeing me create because I don't want to sacrifice that for the project. I love to have a lot of depth and layers to my projects. Oh, wrong way. To my projects. So I do have a bigger spine to accommodate that. Oh, I love that. Look at that layer. That is just yummy. Look at that. Yummy. Oh, love this craft, you guys. Perfect. So this is going to be off to the one side a little bit, but that's okay. So I didn't have any gold eyelets. I don't remember if I mentioned that, but I am going to go ahead and put an eyelet here. I've been having trouble with this little doodad, but I realized I'm not really using my muscles, so that's why I've been having trouble. So I'm going to press harder and be more powerful. I'm going to be more powerful. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Yep, that worked. Look at that beautiful setting. Lovely. There we go. Oh, it's not even centered. Oh my goodness gracious. My goodness gracious. Now, if you want to put anything through that hole, you do need to do it now because this is going to get glued down on 3 sides to create a pocket. So I'm just getting that. I got a pretty long length here, but I'm going to tie it in a bow. On the other one, I just did a, let me show you the difference, guys. The words are failing me. I just did this kind of thing, and then I did the bow on the top. That's what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and just tie that in our little bow. I wonder if we should put our little dangle on there. I do have a gold. You know what? Let's just mix our metals. What's the harm in mixing metals? I'm going to grab a gold bulb pin here. So I do have gold eyelets, but they're the big ones, and I do not like them. I do not like the big eyelets, so I'm going to go with this. There we go. Let's just put a little bit of gold in here and make it pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and attach my little dangle here. Oh, that's not closed very well, though. That's not going to hold. Let me just see if I can squeeze that a little bit with my fingers. Not really. Okay, hold on. Best laid plans, you know, as they say. Let's see if I can give that a little bit of a squeeze and close that up a little bit and close that gap. Oh yeah, there we go. Perfecto. Mixing metals. I never thought I'd see the day that I'd mix my metals. So I am going to I'm going to probably take more of this than I need just because I don't want to mess this up. So I'm going to tie this in its first little knot here, and then I'm going to attach the dangle up here to this. Okay, I'm just going to loop it through there. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. I feel like my camera is like leaning in, like it's not giving me a full flat view here. So hopefully that's not. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love this. Okay, now we're going to tie our little bow. I will tell you, I've been watching a ton of videos, YouTube videos on all my creative friends. I still have to get back. I just was vegging, like, and when I'm vegging, I just don't do anything. So I have to get back and try to give those comments to my friends. So I feel like I want another little piece here, but I don't want to overwhelm it. So I think we're going to leave it. So we're going to go ahead and attach this here, and we're going to attach it again, and we're going to have our little card go in this side so it doesn't bump up into it the other direction. So I'm going to turn this, and we need to glue. This is our open side, so I'm going to put my hands there just so I don't mess this up. And we're going to put some glue. I'm just using Fabri-Tac just because I'm going over some texture, and I find that that works really well, a lot better than art glitter glue. So we're just going to do that, and then make sure that no stringies got in the way there. And we're going to place that down. It's a little bit off, you know, in terms of it's not centered on the tag, but again, there are things I sacrifice to get the look that I want. So I think there's no rules, I guess is what I'm saying. There are no rules in your creative process. So I'm just turning that a little bit. It's a little crooked. There we go. That embossed paper worked out really great, didn't it? Love it. So that is that. So we're going to let that sit, and then I've got these two hearts that I also punched out of, or cut out of that embossed paper, and I was thinking they would be really pretty on the top. So I'm going to give them a little bit of an inking. They can't have an inkling because they're inanimate objects, but they can have an inking. There we go. Give it a little bit of the same on the surface here. We've got a little bit of a tear in the top of that, but that will be okay because these are going to get glued together on the top, front and back. Boy, maybe pick it up, Cara-Renee. There we go. I'm trying to be very gentle on that spot though. I don't want to tear it more than it is already torn. I think I'm going to put that one on the back. Actually, once it's set, it's probably going to be okay in terms of stability. So again, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because this is a pretty porous paper. And I'm just going to place this heart at the top. And I'm going to kind of go up a ways. I'm trying to figure out where I'll put an eyelet here. We might not put an eyelet on this one because it's pretty fragile. So I think we're going to be good with just having it be a heart and no eyelet there and no ribbon. There we go. We can put an eyelet on our little journal card and that'll be good. So I'm just turning this over and lining it up on the back. What I love about this technique is you can use any die you want and do this. It's just so versatile. So we're going to let that dry, and I'm going to try to ink that little bit that's kind of torn. I'm actually going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac right there and then just kind of give it a set there and see if that will help it be more stable there. Not really. We'll see. Okay. So I think we decided we were going to do this for the card. So I do want to be mindful that I lose some of my landscape with the ink or with the glue. So we've got a pretty big card here, so we can be pretty generous. So I think I'll go about here, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim this off really quick. Let me get my other dimension first before I go off screen here, and then probably oh, I can't really cut anything off. I'm going to lose my starfish. Okay, let's think about this again. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. So that's that, and that's that. So let me just create another line for cutting of the actual the measurements this way. Sorry, I'm not speaking very clearly. Hold on. let's see what we've got going on here. Oh, that's pretty chunky. We're gonna have to cut some more off. That's okay. Oh, we wanted it to go this way though, because we want some of it to stick out. So I don't want a lot of it sticking out. I actually only want the tab sticking out now that I think about it, because otherwise it's going to overtake the cluster. So let's just go ahead and cut our starfish just right by our starfish leg. So there we go. That's really beautiful. So I think I want to round the edges on this, around the corners. Okay, I think that's a good size right there. So now we're going to put something on the side of this. So I think maybe I will use this little tab from the kit, and let me just take a moment and cut this the rest of the way. I like to just kind of block cut them, square or rectangle or whatever, and then go in and cut that little bit. Let me grab my fussy cut scissors. I didn't expect to do that, and then I just kind of go like that and just cut the rest of that shape. I love my porch prints because you can expect certain things in every kit, which is I really love, because they have some really great elements. So there we go. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So the question is, do we want this on the front? I wonder if our beechwood will fit on there. It will. I think I'm going to cover that thing up. So let me just ink that too and get that in place first before we move on. I'm just going to use my art glitter glue this time. Gotta go the right way. Open that up for some flat surface here. Yeah, that's nice. I love that. Beach. I could have put something underneath that. You know what? I think I will. Let me pull that back off. A little piece of this lace, perhaps. It's really nice because you can kind of pull at this lace and make it look more distressed, which I'm just beginning to do. Just kind of pull it and distort it a little bit. Some of them are harder than others, so it's really not doing much, is it? Okay, it's too big though, so that's not going to really work. Cut a little bit off with each edge. And let's go ahead and put that down first. I think that will be lovely. Which means we probably are not going to put an eyelet on this because it's really hard to get through the material, through the lace. So I think we'll just call it good. It's okay if it doesn't go as planned, since I'm kind of creating on the fly here. Or changing my mind on the fly. There we go. I like that. Now we're going to give this some Fabri-Tac. Yep, there we go. Yeah, pretty. I like it. So it's going to go right here, and it's going to kind of stick out here, which is going to be lovely. So we can just use our art glitter glue because there's nothing thick going on here. Of course, you can use your glue of choice. It's just, this is what I like. I'm going to kind of go like that because I think I can sandwich it in right here between the legs of the starfish here. Make it kind of look balanced, like so. So delightful. Okay, so that means our word that I selected for another place is going to stay on the tag. So we're only going to put some sentiment on here. So let's go ahead and slide this in and see what she looks like. Oh, that's so pretty. Now we are losing Again, some of that, I'm going to slide this in. I'm going to take it right back out because I don't want that to stick since that's all still kind of wet. But that's going to be really beautiful. So let's just leave it like that. So now we've got Starfish, Mermaid Kisses, and Starfish Wishes. I thought would be fun on here. So let's go ahead and ink this. I did cut it in half and then I trimmed off parts of it, so that's why I need to ink those little ends there. Such a beautiful sentiment. Okay, so shall we go? I think it wouldn't be bad to put one up here. Starfish Wishes, kind of up in the middle of the image. Of course, do what's pleasing to you. I think right there will be good. There we go. And then Mermaid Kisses. And then we are going to be done, guys, and trying to create some content so that I've got stuff popping up on the channel when I'm gone. So I'm going to be working a lot in the studio the next couple of days and get some content ready. There we go. That is our beautiful tag. Very, very pretty. Oh, that worked out well to just stabilize that a little bit. Kind of bummed to not get an eyelet up at there. I might go through all of that off camera and see if I can get a hole in there and put some more ribbon on. So there we go. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you'll hop on over to Julie over at Camelia Craft Designs. That's where I got the inspiration for this. And I will see you in the next video, you guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.